I rise in support of my bill, H.R. 361, the Medical Preparedness Allowable Use Act. This legislation would amend the Homeland Security Act of 2002 to clarify that grant funds under the State Homeland Security Grant Program and the Urban Area Security Initiative may be used to enhance medical preparedness and purchase medical countermeasures. I originally introduced the Medical Preparedness Allowable Use Act in 2012 after a series of hearings on medical countermeasures when I proudly served as chairman of the Subcommittee on Emergency Preparedness, Response, and Communications. At these hearings, the need for this legislation was highlighted when we received numerous testimonies from the emergency response community on the importance of stockpiling medical countermeasures in the event of an WMD attack. This includes pre-deployed medical kits for first responders, as Mr. Carter said, their families, and immediate victims of widespread terrorist attacks on our homeland and natural disasters. Resources similar to those provided to postal workers participating in the national U.S. Postal Medical Countermeasures dispensing by the program. The grant guidance for the State Homeland Security Grant Program and the Urban Area Security Initiative currently permits this funding to be used to procure medical countermeasures. It also allows for other medical preparedness and medical surge capacity equipment and activities. However, this guidance is developed on an annual basis. There's no guarantee that these uses will be authorized in the future. To be clear, as Mr. Carter said, no new funding is authorized in this bill. However, the expenditures authorized and codified by the bill we are considering today can make a big difference in protecting the public. If we're not safe, Mr. Speaker, nothing else matters. Codifying this authority will assist emergency responders in the event of an attack, providing certainty that grant funding may be used to support them now and in the future. We must have certainty. I consistently find myself in awe of our first responders and the sacrifices that they make on the public's behalf. In the wake of recent terrorist attacks, such as the Boston Marathon bombing, I am committed to ensuring Congress fulfills its obligation to support those brave men and women responding to these various threats. I thank my colleagues, Representative Susan Brooks and Representative Peter King, for being original co-sponsors and their continued support for this legislation. I would like to commend the chairman of the full Homeland Security Committee, Chairman McCall, for his leadership in making this initiative a priority and also for being a co-sponsor of this good bill. Finally, I'd like to note that the Emergency Services Coalition for Medical Preparedness continues to endorse this bill and its intent. The Medical Preparedness Allowable Use Act passed the House with overwhelming bipartisan support in the last two Congresses. However, the Senate never acted on this measure. With new leadership in the Senate, Mr. Speaker, I am hopeful that they can take this measure up quickly so that we can get this before the President to be signed into law. We have a responsibility to ensure our communities are prepared, equipped, and capable of executing countermeasures for future terrorist threats and natural disasters. Passage of H.R. 361 would truly aid our first responders in this endeavor. Mr. Speaker, I urge all my colleagues to vote in favor of this great bill, and I yield back the balance of my time.